Hello and welcome to another episode of What Do You Call It podcast. I'm your host, GB. Today's guests, yes, plural, need no introduction as they've appeared on the podcast before. One of my favourite episodes. Honestly, it was such a blast. And just to see their success as well since I have had them on, it just makes me a proud father, even though I'm not actually that much older than them. But now I'm just waffling on. They're used to this. Please welcome back Hunter Knott and John Grillo. No, I'm joking. Rosario Grillo. We'll explain that later. Your favourite tag team, TSF.
Hello.
You're still not going to tell me, by the way, what TSF means, are you?
It stands for that spectacular fella, as in you're that spectacular fella.
Thank you. Right, well, good. Well, thanks for coming on for the podcast. Hope you guys do well. Am I joking? But it's great to have you back on. The last episode was brilliant. We got to know who you were, how you guys met, how you guys got into wrestling, your journey, your debuts in AEW, and just use the tag team and chemistry and just a really good chat. And I think it was really well received as well. So I want to kickstart the show by talking about a wrestler who had an influence on both your wrestling careers. We discussed the Nightmare Factory in the previous episode. I want to know your thoughts on Cody Rhodes being in the main event of WrestleMania and not finishing the story.
Man, you want to start with that one, Johnny? I feel like there's a lot we can talk about.
Oh, man. I mean, you were in LA. Do you want to start with it?
Sure. So we actually, Trip Jordy, my roommate, and we went down to WrestleMania weekend in LA to help Cody with the Dusty Rhodes Foundation, which is an incredible foundation.
Oh, wow.
If you guys haven't checked it out yet, please go check it out. It's for an incredible cause and just great people surrounding the whole thing. So we were down there, and just for Cody to be able to come back to WWE and do what he's done in that short amount of time that he's been back is absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Cody is, in my eyes, and this isn't just because he's my trainer, he's one of the best wrestlers, promos, athletes out there. Like, really nothing that man
complete
can't.
Package, isn't he? Like the perfect wrestler. If you had some older wrestler, it would most likely be Cody Rhodes.
He dresses the part. Like, Cody is the man. So just my friends and I talking, and Johnny and I talking. I'm gonna call you Johnny, okay? It's my thing, okay?
That's okay, Bobo. You call me whatever you want.
Times we've been in a match, and I go, Johnny, take the tag. So many times.
Call me whatever you want, Bobo.
But all right, I'm gonna call you my baby then. So like just us talking, like we were really, really confident that Cody was going to finish the story there. So seeing everything go down and seeing him, unfortunately be put in that position where he was just overran with the entire bloodline. It was upsetting to see, but I have a feeling that it's going to lead to something greater in the future.
What about you, Rosario? You were quite vocal on Twitter. So if you let the audience know how you felt about your boy Cody and the main event and overall.
Yeah, so it's tough for me because, listen, like Conor said, I love Cody, not just coaching relationship or just personally. I just love the guy, and he's been so helpful to Hunter and I throughout our careers. He's been instrumental in helping me with rehab and just like being the shoulder to lean on when I need someone to talk to. But man, I love Roman too. Like we acknowledge in this house, so it was so hard to be like, man, I'm so upset that Cody lost. I'm so upset Cody lost, but also like we acknowledge in this house. But Jen was not happy with me about that because, like I said, I still love Roman, but it was heartbreaking. Like just because again, like we do know him personally, so like there's the fan aspect and then there's the personal aspect where you're like, man, I know how hard he's worked and like how much he's gone through to get here and all the adversity, not even just in WWE, but through his whole career. Yeah. So like Hunter said that, this isn't the end. This was just chapter one of the story. So we gotta hopefully, it comes around and we do get to finish the story eventually. And I know it will, because Cody's the type of guy who won't stop until he gets what he wants. So that title will come home one day. It just unfortunately wasn't right now.
The story.
You should know, you should know all about the title coming home and then never coming home.
So I'd take Arsenal. Oh, you're taking England, for fuck's sake, man. Honestly, like, oh, come on, mate. Like, how far have you, like, USA got? Like, soccer. Oh, we got American football, quarterbacks, defense.
We don't have a quarterback on our team right now.
Oh, right. There you go, then. That's right. No, that's cool, man. That's cool. But, like, for us to even have this conversation, if we was to say, like, when we first talked to each other at the end of 2021, Cody's going to main event WrestleMania against Roman Reigns, we'd laugh. We'd just be like, nah, whatever. Fantasy booking. And for it to happen, it's just mental. But it just makes it that much better to be a wrestling fan. You just don't know what's going to happen.
And that's how it should be. You know, I always keep people in seats.
Exactly, man. Exactly. So last time we talked about how you've been a tag team and how you got to be where you were and wrestling AEW. Prior to Grillo's gruesome injury, I want to know, because since then you've still been doing shows, and there's actually a stand-up, by the way. I want to talk about this match, but I'm going to jump straight into it. It was a street fight, and it took place at Coastal Championship Wrestling, and you faced off against the Cron. I'm probably mispronouncing that, but I loved your tribute to Shawn Michaels, by the way. That was fucking quality. But I want you, if you could just talk us through that match, because I really enjoyed it. It's on YouTube, by the way, if anyone wants to check it out and pause this and then watch it after.
What a fun match.
I think my ribs were broken in that match, or before. Like, I came into that match with broken ribs, right?
I believe so. I think it was around the time that happened.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I had Hunter and I were up in New Jersey for our first Jersey show, and I ended up breaking my ribs in the match. And like a stupid person I am, I just didn't stop wrestling. No matter how much Hunter would tell me to stop wrestling and stop working out, I was like, well, we have bookings. I'm not going to cancel them. Unfortunately, we did have to cancel one. But yeah, the street fight was just the best thing about Hunter and I is that we do what you're supposed to do in wrestling. We have fun. That's what wrestling is supposed to do. It's supposed to be fun. If you're not having fun, like QT has always said, you know, the most fun you'll ever have in wrestling is in the ring. Everything, like once you're out of the ring, the fun stops. So as long as we can keep that fun alive, like that's just what we go for. And we were talking about like, oh, like, dude, what if we did something cool? Like, how would we dress? And I think we both were just like, what if we did the Shawn Michaels tribute? And then I was like,
SummerSlam,
what if we redid our theme song? So I was like, what if we redid the theme song to go into Sexy Boy? And he was like, Johnny, I think it's the best idea we've ever had.
Like, even the logo, was the logo modified to like
I was going to say, special shout out to Faded Plague Art on Twitter. He has done almost every single one of our designs. He is absolutely incredible, and he handcrafted that for us, especially for that match. And it was, you know, seeing it for the first time, Johnny and I were like, oh my God. Like, we were just in awe on how good it looked, because he did such an incredible job. And we were. It
was one of the first things I noticed. I mean, the match itself was really good, but it was like Shawn Michaels, SummerSlam 2002. Inspired, loved it.
Got to do an inspiration to the GOAT, you know. But just seeing the whole outfit put together and the pictures that came later from the match, it was just a fantastic time in general. Was that the day that we had the doubleheader as well?
No, that was it was the day of FanFest. Not FanFest. It was the day of Starcade, whatever it is.
Yes.
SummerSlam.
Doubleheader, I think a month earlier in June is when we wrestled at
Nissan Stadium.
CCW. Yeah, we were helping out with actually the Dusty Foundation as well during, was it WrestleCade? I think it was WrestleCade weekend.
One of them.
Flair's last
SummerSlam weekend.
Yes, SummerSlam.
Flair's last match, by the way. That.
Yeah. So it was during that time. And like he said, man, it's just all about having fun. Like, if we go in there with the ambition of having fun, we hope that it can translate to everybody else in the crowd, because if we're having fun, hopefully everybody else is having fun. And that's all that really matters at the end. You know, these people came out here, bought a ticket to see us wrestle. The least we can do is put a smile on their face, is how I think.
Because you also remember what it's like to be a fan as well.
I had streamers taped to my pants. Like, that's how like stupid we get. But it was so funny because I remember I had these dollar store streamers down my pants, because like obviously I wasn't going to buy Shawn's actual gear. So I had these dollar store streamers, and I just remember a fan screaming at me, "Why do you have streamers? You look like an idiot." And I said, "You ever see Shawn Michaels street fight?" And he goes, "Got it." And I was like, "Okay, see, there we go. See, now we're here."
It all makes sense.
Actually, I think right before that, because so you'll like this, Gargano was at the autograph session that we were at that day, but we couldn't work it. It turns out his booth was right next to the Dusty booth. Well, Jen was still working the Dusty booth, so I got a call while we're putting our match together, and I got a FaceTime from Gargano. And as soon as I answer, he goes, "Oh shit, Shawn Michaels street fight." I was like, "Thank you, someone gets it."
Right, the Gargano thing, by the way, I forgot. That kind of blew up a little bit. So I mentioned it on the last time we spoke, and that you looked like him. And you actually got sponsored him, didn't you? You actually did a video calling him out, and he actually got in contact with you, didn't he? Is that the time? So when he messaged you and voicemailed you, not voicemailed, video called you, is that when he was responding to the videos?
No, it was a separate time. It's just we had gone back and forth on Twitter for a while. Then we found out we were going to be in the same area, and then of course we had the match, so we couldn't make it. And my girlfriend like went up to him and introduced herself, and he was like, "Oh yeah, like is he here? Where is he?" And then they ended up FaceTiming, and yeah, it was a cool day. It was a lot of fun. I think that my favorite part of that whole day was just you hear the Shawn Michaels theme song, and then our theme song kicks, and it was like, oh, this was great.
That's wicked, man. That's wicked. What were some of your highlights last year as a tag team?
Man, we did a lot last year, dude. I would start with the beginning of the year being DPW. Getting to go there and work a couple shows with them was fantastic. Great locker room, great people that run the place. And then where do we move on from there?
Dude, we were last year, like 2021, we went hard, or 2021 we went hard, but 2022 up until the end, man, we were going crazy. Like
we're going. We got to wrestle back home. That was
we got to wrestle up in Jersey twice.
Really? I'm going to assume you had your friends and family there.
Yeah, that was the first time. Hunter's getting to wrestle up in PA in a couple weeks, right? That's cool. First time in his actual hometown. Like that's
so I'm going to be a tourist. PA, what does that stand for?
Pennsylvania.
Thank you. I'm a Brit, man. Leave me alone.
AML, we got to wrestle for AML.
Oh, that was insane. That was so much fun. It was I'll share it. I mean, FGR were the one who got us booked on the show, and we got
their seminar.
Oh yeah, we did their seminar. They got us booked on the show, and then we had a 6-man tag match on the show, which was so cool because Brock Anderson was on the other team, and we've both trained with him numerous times, and he's a friend of ours. We know him personally, so like it was just so cool to. And
Arn was out there as well, which was even cooler.
Oh my god, yeah, Arn was out there, and it was the biggest. I think it was the biggest indie show we had ever worked, like crowd size wise.
I agree. So we did that, and we also, like we kind of mentioned, we got to wrestle at Nissan Stadium, which wasn't like inside the stadium, but it was still in Nissan Stadium. Yeah. So
it was on the concourse. It counts.
Yeah, exactly.
That fucking counts. Yeah.
Dude, we did a lot. I mean, I have our match book right here of all the matches we've had. I mean, these pages are filled. I'm trying to think, like, man, what did we do? We did so much.
We hit a lot of states last year. We got to wrestle in Maryland as well. I know.
Who were some of the favorite tag teams that you wrestled them?
So first off, I'm a little biased because I love these boys. They're just great human beings, and they're great wrestlers as well. The reality, they are absolutely fantastic. Chance and I had a podcast going for a little bit, and it's kind of hard to align our schedules to keep it going at the moment, but hopefully we can keep it going in the future, called Grap with Games. But just the humbleness of these two guys and the respect that they have for wrestling and just other people in general just puts them above and beyond everybody else. Like, they have such a good knowledge of tag team wrestling that you can't really find nowadays. I don't want to say can't really find, but it's a lot harder to find, true tag teams that go out and really understand the psychology and know how to put a match together. But those boys are just fantastic. And if y'all haven't seen any of their matches, please go check them out.
Yeah, no, I definitely will.
I was going to say the same thing. There's a special moment in wrestling where you get in the ring with someone, and from the instant the match starts, you're like, oh, this is going to be great. Like, we're going to work perfectly together. And it's just kind of how it was. Just from the moment we met them, we were like, oh, this is going to be awesome. And we've had so many matches with them. And the last one we had was, I watched it the other day, and I was texting Hunter about it. And I was like, yo, this match had no reason to be as good as it was. It was us versus the Reality on an episode of DPW Spark, #1 contenders match for the first ever DPW tag titles. Dude, we went about 18, 20 minutes. And that whole day, there was so many moving parts. The match got changed so many times. We had other people in the match, and then they weren't there. And then this was the finish. And then we had to go do this, and then this. And then we're about to walk out, and the match changes again. And we went from like second on the card to like second to last on the card just because of all the changes. And it was just one of those things where nothing should have gone right, and thank God everything did.
It was just your night.
Yep. Yeah, and it was kind of like, I don't want to say magic, but it kind of was. Like, watching that match, I was like, yo, why haven't we wrestled them again? This was unbelievable. Why aren't we just touring the country with this match? Like, the four of us together could be unstoppable.
If you had to compare yourself to when we last spoke and to the end of 2022, what would you say has changed about TSF in terms of the growth, how you are as a tag team, how you sort of arrange matches, Sort of, if anything that's improved, anything that kind of stands out to you guys.
I think Johnny knows what I'm going to say right off the bat, and I'm going to say it's our confidence.
Yeah.
Confidence goes a very, very long way in the wrestling world, but not just wrestling, in life too, is just to believe in yourself and truly understand that, like, hey, if I can go out like and truly believe that I can do these things, I can make it happen. So about midway through last year, Johnny's always been an incredible wrestler, but I kind of had my moments like whenever I first started that I really just, it wasn't clicking for me fully. And just somewhere like mid last year, it really hit me just like a freaking hammer, man. And I was like, oh, okay, I kind of understand this stuff now. And ever since then, you know, I've just been a lot more comfortable in the ring and with promos and just everything we do in general. So I think, me specifically and us as a tag team, finding our confidence has helped us grow, and not just a wrestling way, but as human beings too, and helped us get these new opportunities that we're getting in all these new places.
Yeah, I would say confidence is insanely grown since we started wrestling. I would say we always say this to each other whenever we can see the other one tense up. We always, hey, loosey-goosey, baby, just loosey-goosey. Like, we're supposed to have fun. Just keep it nice and loose. Like, we'll have to say that to each other in matches sometimes, but I mean, Hunter's not kidding with his confidence. Like, not that he was ever doing anything wrong, but when you would, like, if you watch an early 2022 match and then a later one, it's two different wrestlers. Just not that the moves change or anything. It's just the stature, his attitude, like how he's carrying himself. You're like, oh yeah, this kid fucking gets it.
This happens when you don't expect either. It just clicks.
Yeah. And like, not that it didn't, again, like he's saying like it didn't click before, which is not true. It did. It's just I feel like he started to find himself more. And that's something that, you know, we'll talk about it a little later. But like when I got hurt, the first thing I did was call him and was like, hey, I'm done. Like, I don't think I'm ever going to wrestle again. This is your time. Like, do whatever you can. Go get singles. Go do whatever you can. This is your moment. Like, go shine. Yeah. And he's done nothing but do that so far this year.
Hunter, before we do go into the injury, I want to ask about you wrestling as a singles. Man. I want to know what have been some of the differences between being in a tag team and being a single act. Have you found it difficult? How have you felt overall about it? This sort of this transition.
Man, I'm gonna say like a way that I can describe it is like, say you just up and pack all of your things and you move to the States like tomorrow. Yeah, it's a whole new world, man. Like it is. Because we were trained as a tag team. Like, we were truthfully trained as a tag team. Throughout the 3-month camp, you know, we learned the basics of wrestling, and we didn't really know we were going to be a tag team at the time. But since that 3-month camp has stopped, we've trained as a tag team. We lived together. We did shows. Like, all we did was tag stuff. You know, I could probably count on my hands how many singles bookings the combined both of us had up until... I
think it was 3. Of 2021, I think we had 3.
Like 3 single, like we were tag team trained. So going from a match that has 4 moving parts to a match that just has 2 moving parts, it was really intimidating at first. But kind of like Johnny mentioned last year, me finding my confidence and realizing who I was as a wrestler, and credit to him because he's helped me with literally everything in wrestling, like the psychology aspect, the wrestling aspect, how to carry myself. Like, I owe him the world. But
we owe each other.
You know, just kind of having that carry me into the singles realm, it was very nice because I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna figure it out. I got to carry the TSF name while he's out, and I'm going to do it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. I'm going to do it.
Taxes, TSF.
Death, taxes, TSF. Yeah, baby. So, you know, I had my first singles match, and I don't want to say I did good because I always feel like I can do better, but I felt like I did enough, and I'd be like, okay, I can do this type of stuff.
Yeah.
Is it
very different? So scary.
Yes, it's very scary, but is it very different not having my best friend on the apron cheer me on?
I was just going to say word for word the same thing.
Absolutely. It is incredibly different, but you know, it's a whole new ball game. And while unfortunately Johnny's been out, it's allowed me to grow as a wrestler. That's only going to help grow TSF when the time comes that we're back as a tag team again.
Yeah.
So you know, it's a lot of benefits. Like I said, it's very sad not having him by my side.
Yeah. But he's always there. I mean, I'm not trying to be like cringe.
Exactly. No, literally, you can ask him. Like, anytime I have a match and I think of a spot or I think of something, I'll call him up and be like, hey, man, what do you think of this?
Yeah, we still talk all the time. Like, I love that. Whenever I know he has a match, I'm always like, let me know who you're working. Call me after, let me know how it goes.
Yeah.
Like, send me the footage because I have nothing to do. I want to watch it. And like every match, you're like, hey, here's the match, and I'll watch it and I'll call each other and we'll just talk about it for like hours.
That is a real
match.
tag
We'll
team.
talk about it for an hour.
Some of the best tag teams. They are not just there in the ring, that's it, and then outside they won't speak to each other. Like they're literally like husband and wife. They are committed to
it. Literally. That's honestly, I look at us as.
I mean, I can imagine your partners might be jealous sometimes.
But yeah, man, like I've, as much as weird as it's been, I've enjoyed it in the fact that it's helping me grow as a wrestler, and I kind of get to push the side of things that I've started in wrestling, like the reason why I started wrestling, which is to hopefully come up with the Tough Knott Foundation in the end, which is a foundation that helps families that have addicts in them that nobody really thinks about, because nobody really thinks about the single mom that's out there working her ass off for her 2 kids, trying to keep the lights on, all that stuff. And I don't mean for it to take a dark turn, but that's the whole reason that I got into wrestling. Like the absolute whole reason I got into wrestling was to be able to help my family and provide for my family and be an example to kids that were in the same shoes that I was in growing up.
Yeah.
So it's had its benefits, and I really, really truthfully think when the time does come that we are going to be back together, it's only going to make us stronger.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate you sharing that, by the way. Like, I'm all platforms, you guys.
Speaking of the Tough Knot, if anyone's interested, you can head over to Hunter's Pro Wrestling Tee stores and get the Tough Knot shirt. I have it. I love it. It's super soft. It's a great logo. So if you head over to Hunter's Pro Wrestling Tees, you can get that and all his other new shirts.
But hey, I'm going to take a second as well. And didn't you just start your own as well, Bubba?
I did. Well?
So everybody check out his first wrestling tee as well, the Rosario Grillo OG Rose shirt, baby.
The OG shirt.
OG.
That's one thing I love about TSF. It's just the way you guys market, and just like if you haven't followed you guys on Twitter, you'll see like how they sell themselves. Like that's one thing that stood out to me. Like why I got you on originally, just TSF and just the branding, and just like if you don't get it, you don't have to get it, and it's just great. Just
and most of the stuff you guys see on Twitter or Instagram is because of Hunter. Like there was a lot of time when we were starting out. You always have to catch somebody on Twitter. Everyone has a quick attention span, so you have to catch them fast. And it's hard when if there's a graphic or an idea you have, and you have to find someone to design it. You have to find someone to do it. They're busy. They have their own schedule. So Hunter took the time to teach himself how to do all that. So all the graphics you ever see that he puts out for his Twitch, for himself, for TSF, that's all Hunter. Like we may have someone, like we said, Faded Plague, who helps us out with unbelievable designs. We'll get him to do it. He usually does it real fast. And then the graphics, boom, boom, boom. Those are Hunter. And he thankfully helped me learn how to do it. So like, I don't have to bother him to make my own graphics. And in it, we've learned how to do video editing and all this stuff. Like all this stuff you like, when we say like TSF is self-made, like, yeah, there's people who help us, but at the end of the day, it's me, it's Hunter, it's us doing it together, every single aspect of it.
Even when you're not together, you're still working together.
Always. We're always sending each other promo ideas, match ideas, move ideas, just funny promo ideas, t-shirt ideas, like just whatever we can think of, we're always working.
24/7, man. We're wrestling is like,
man. I'm TSF to a die, man. Honestly, I'm just happy to have you for it. It's been good so far. Unfortunately, gonna have to take a bit of a downturn. And happened. Well, technically, it happened last year, but it was shown this year. AEW Dark Elevation. Rosario suffered a nasty injury. If you haven't seen it, I mean, it depends how you can take it. It's pretty nasty.
If you've ever seen the Psycho Sid injury, it's that, but like I'm half the size, and it's really clear.
I want to let you know, I've still never watched the end. I've never watched the end. I watched up until, and I've never watched the end.
It's horrible.
I think like I was talking about it with my friends the other day. One of them was like, I've seen it once and I will never watch it again. And the other one was like, I don't need to see it. Like you told me what happened. I don't need to watch it.
I've seen it about 2 or 3 times just to double check like what position it was, if it's the ankle or the leg, and it's horrible. But so it happened in the match against. I'm not laughing about it. I'm just laughing about.
Oh, it's hey, listen, like it's okay. I crack jokes about it all the time.
That's one thing I respect about you, about how you've been in good spirits since it. I mean, it happened in the match against House of Black. It was a fun match, but unfortunately, it happened right near the end. Respect, by the way, for the match continuing with Buddy Matthews, actually pinning you straight away, and then calling it a day. So I'd like to speak to you about your recovery, your initial reaction to it, the injury itself, and just overall like where you are right now.
Yeah. So I mean, it was very obvious that I broke everything when it happened. Like as soon as I hit, I could feel everything breaking in my leg, and I just remember for a split. So that was the finish of the match. It was one more move. It was Dante's Inferno, done.
Oh, that was actually the finish. Oh, okay.
So it was supposed to be the forearm, boom, Dante's Inferno, see you later.
Yeah.
There was a split second where I thought I could get up, and then I immediately realized, nope, that's not happening. And I just remember screaming, I broke my leg, pin me, I broke my leg.
Yeah.
I got carried to the back, and immediately I was like, oh, I'm done. Like, career's over, wrestling's done. Like, I'm done. No more TSF, no more Rosario. Like, it's over. And I was in the doctor's. They wheeled me to the medical room, and they were just examining me. And originally, they were like, hey, you just broke your leg. It's just your fibula. It's going to be okay. It hurt way more than that. Like, I could tell, like, hey, something's
lucky
wrong.
Son of a bitch, man.
Well, so I get to the hospital,
Yeah.
and first thing, I didn't have my phone or anything. I'm still in my gear. Like, it's all moving so fast. My girlfriend finds out. She's actually home with my parents back in Jersey because it was Christmas. So I think my buddy Dean or Shane was like, hey, there's been an accident. He broke his leg, blah, blah, blah. So I didn't even have my phone. I couldn't even think, I couldn't even call them because I knew if I called them, like, that's it. I'm balling. I'm already crying. I'm already a mess. So my buddy Shane, who I am so grateful for, threw me in his car. Not threw me, we wheeled me to the car, and it was in Colorado. Random snowstorm, complete blizzard. There's like 8 to 10 inches on the ground. We don't know where we are. He's navigating this storm. Can't even see in front of him. Gets me to the hospital. First person I call is Hunter. And immediately he was like, what's up, Bubba? And I'm just in tears. And I'm like, dude, I broke my leg. I'm in the hospital. It's bad. It's really, really bad. Like, I'm so sorry. I ruined everything for us.
Okay,
like, this is like I said, like, this is your time to shine. Like, please go out and do you. This is Hunter Knott's time. Like, it's over for me. I'm done.
Yeah.
And of course, Hunter, being the person he is just like, shut up. Yep. It's not over. Let's figure out what happens. Let's figure out what's going on. Hold this conversation for another time, but like, just calm down. Let this process. So they find out it's a broken fibula. I fly back to Jersey. I'm in a lot of pain. Fly back to Atlanta. Finally get to a doctor's appointment. Well, my foot's not attached to my leg. Turns out my ankle's broken. It's completely fractured off. All the ligaments and tendons severed. They're gone. There's nothing holding my foot. Then find out I almost lost my foot. They were like, hey, like, you were about a couple of days away from your foot just having to be cut off from how bad it was. So now, as of Friday, my fracture's healed. I have 4 weeks until I'm cleared, and I'm going to be back pretty soon. So it's been rough. It's been tough.
Now we can laugh. Now we can. Sorry, that story was getting me quite hooked. I was like, I'm not gonna cry. Fucking hell. Especially like saying sorry to Hunter, like it's your fault. Fucking hell.
Yeah, like I said, always think about wrestling. First thing was, sorry, man, I ruined TSF for us. But
yeah,
and I told him from day one, I was like, quit saying if. It's going.
Yeah. Whenever we would talk, I would be, yes, like, if I come back, you'd be like, shut up, it's when. And shut up, it's when. Shut up, it's when. Even the other day, I said if again, and he was like, stop talking. It's when you come back, not if you come back. So, I mean, I don't know where I would be without him. I don't know where I would be without the amazing people who haven't let me quit, who yell at me every day, like, hey, this isn't it. Like you're going to come back even stronger. So, yeah, it's tough. I do still have my moments. Like, there's still a lot of stuff I can't do. Like, walking down the stairs is still hard, and I do have some nerve issues in my leg. But it's, who knows?
You're going to be laughing about this in about a year's time.
I mean, yeah, like I said, I still crack jokes. I mean, you can't psycho-sid yourself and not crack a joke.
Yeah. Honestly, man, when you told me, like, oh, actually, like, it's, I might be back, I was like, fuck. Like, just the injury itself. If anyone hasn't seen, like I said just before we went into this chat, it's pretty brutal. It's snap, gone. It's like I said, as Hunter said, and you said, it's pretty brutal. But for you to, like, still be positive, knowing that you are going to be coming back. TSF is still a thing, and the love and outpour that you got on social media, by the way. I mean, the clip itself went viral, but I saw when you tweeted out, like, the response, like the love that you got, not just from the fans, but your colleagues and wrestlers that just that are not just in AEW. That was awesome, man. It must have made you feel like, wow, I mean a lot to people.
Yeah, no, it was at the time it was a double-edged sword because it was like, oh, I'm only getting this because my leg is pointing that way. But then I was like, oh, you know what? No, it's because like people care. Like, don't look at the negative side. Like, look at the good side. People are reaching out. But like you said, always cracking jokes. I remember, I mean, I'm in the doctor's office. They're cutting off my pants. And I'm like, so how did the match look? Like, besides my leg, was it great? And they were like, I'm not going to lie to you, dude. It was probably one of the best matches you've had here. And I was like, wow, that's a kick in the gut. You should have told me that.
When your legs just like hanging off. Now, trust me.
Yeah, you're like, oh, you could have told me it was the shits.
It's not because like you hamstring your ankle. Like, do you see the clip of the guy? It's like he's doing it in the backyard wrestling, and it's like he comes out to the wolf pack, and he just comes. He doesn't even do a move. He jumps from the turnbuckle after he's posed, and his knees go backwards. Like,
oh yeah,
oh my god, yeah.
I can't imagine he got like the much love and the outpouring that you did. So,
yeah, well, thank you for putting it that way.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Brilliant stuff. We just took a quick break there. I do have a Q&A. So I tweeted out earlier about TSF returning to What You Call It podcast, and it was shared, which is awesome, and I actually got a good response from it. But also, I want to thank you guys also for coming on. It does mean a lot, because I know you're busy as well. With shoot job.
Thank you for having us, man. Thank you for having us. Seriously,
really do mean that.
Don't thank us. You're giving us the platform.
Seriously.
No, I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed speaking to you last time, and I'm enjoying it again. It's really good. It's really good. But I think it's one of the first times I've ever actually done Q&A. So just a few questions to ask you. I love this name, by the way. Bacon_space. What is it like to be a part of the best tag team ever, TSF?
It's the most beautiful thing in the world. I couldn't imagine anything else.
I don't think you could put it any other way. I think I said on Twitter the other day, TSF is going to be like New Day. No matter what, we never split it. We both can go on the glorious single run of all time for each of us, but at the end of the day, it's still TSF. We're all like, we're not going to break up. If we want to do our own thing, we'll do our own thing, but we're still TSF. I'll be there by his side. He'll be there by mine. It doesn't matter.
Damn right.
TSF till I die. Love it. Hope you guys come for All In, by the way. I may or may not have been talking to Rosario before recording, but I think that'd be good.
I think we should just in general, we got to come over there just for some indie shows.
Mate, you'll love it, man. You'll love the crowd here. We may take over the show sometimes, but we'll make it worthwhile to you guys. Don't worry. Another question. Stephen Freddie, I believe that's how it said. Stephen _Freddie. Any interest in wrestling in the Northwest Territories? Hunter just nods straight away. So, am I joking? They are going to say something. Yes, I'll let you.
Please. We want to go everywhere, literally everywhere. And even the Northwest, like the closer to home, the better. Like I got friends that want to come out. Johnny has friends and family that wants to come out. Like we want to wrestle everywhere, but specifically back up home. So, if any promotions want to book these spectacular faces,
that's
there you
good,
go.
mate.
There you go.
Hit us up.
We were close to coming out there last year, but then that's when I broke my ribs and we couldn't make a 20-hour drive, understandably. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I wouldn't be too sure. I wouldn't, write off us not going anywhere. I would expect when I come back us to be everywhere.
Awesome. There you go. Chasing the graph.
Oh,
that's chasing the graph. Do you guys take bookings where there's not a Sheets in the near vicinity?
No.
I don't know what the hell Sheets is.
So Sheets is a gas station that is really big up in where Hunter and I are from. They just have great food. Yeah, he's gonna go get some for it. But they have it's like a convenience store gas station.
Yeah.
But I mean, they have unbelievable food, and it's just great. Sheets is just amazing, and we love it so much. They sent us Sheets merch. Like we did so much random publicity for Sheets. They had sent us a care package, and they wrapped the shirts. What a bump! Good snap.
Thanks.
Hunter's really excited, didn't he? Today.
Sheets. You say Sheets, and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, dude, Sheets is just unbelievable. Every time, so they stop. They're not anywhere past North Carolina. So whenever we start to get up there for bookings, it's like, yes, where's the closest Sheets? Let's go there after the show.
I don't have a clue, but it's just amusing me. Chasing the graph, I hope you're happy with that answer. There you go, Sheets. It's it doesn't happen if it's not near. There you go. Promoters, just FYI as well with that one. So I'm going to ask you guys a question that I've kind of introduced to the podcast since speaking to you guys. It's a fun one. Doesn't have to be wrestling. Allows you guys to take a break from wrestling. Johnny, obviously, not Johnny, sorry. Not John either. Rosario, I know you might be Power Rangers influenced with this one. But let's go. 3 dream dinner guests for your party. You are the host. Hunter, I'm going to start with you, mate. You can pick anyone you want, fictional, non-fictional. You can pick Jesus if you really want to. Entirely up to you, mate. You can pick the owner of Sheets. I don't know who the hell that is, but go.
What a probably a good guy.
Okay. John Cena, Adam Sandler. No. You know what? I'm gonna take out John Cena just because I would love to have dinner with him, but you're gonna say non-wrestling. So
no, you can have wrestling you want. Mate, you're the host. You can.
We'll say John Cena, but I'm also going to swap him out with Michael Scott from The Office as well.
God, I love that.
So we'll say that. What was my other one? Adam Sandler and Rick Grimes from The Walking Dead.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
yeah. So we've got Rick Grimes, Adam Sandler. You know what? He's grown on me over the years. I mean, he's made some absolutely atrocious films like Jack and Jill.
Oh yeah,
and the movie 7, but like Hidden Gems. What a film! What a film!
I didn't like that.
Really?
Yeah, everyone you love it. It's gambling and it's sports. I didn't like it. It was too long.
Brilliant. No way. Oh, man, we have a conversation after this interview, mate. Like, I dislike it.
It's too long, and it wasn't Adam Sandler. Like I want,
it's like woo.
Yeah, I want stupid jokes. I want Kevin James. I want all of his friends who are in. I want
Rob Schneider.
I want Rob Schneider.
Rob Schneider doing something offensive. Oh, I love it. So Adam Sandler and Michael Scott from The Office. Love it. Mm-hmm. Prison Mike, wicked. Rosario, you go. I feel like it's gonna be a Power Rangers one for this one though, or Marvel.
Is dead or alive?
Anyone. Dead, live, present, past, whatever.
Wow, that's a good one. I'm gonna go Jason David Frank, who passed recently from Power Rangers.
Yeah.
You said I had to get a Power Rangers one there.
You ever meet him, by the way, at convention? Because I know you do conventions sometimes.
I met him when I was a kid. Not a kid, but I met him when I was a teenager.
How was he? I heard he's always nice.
He was so nice. He was unbelievably nice. He was so cool, so down to earth. Everything you would want, like your hero to be.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen Amell. He's like one of my favorite actors, and I love Arrow. And oof, I'm gonna say Hunter because I haven't seen him in a while.
Oh,
I take back Michael Scott. I want Johnny in my.
No, it's okay. I would pick Michael Scott over me. I'd pick Michael Scott over me. It's okay.
Sorry, mate. I pick my both of you, mate. No, I'll pick Prison Mike over you boys. No.
That's fair.
It's cool.
I mean, he overcame the Dementors, so I get it.
I mean, that's why I love Dominic Mysterio at the moment, like the prison Dom. It's just fucking brilliant.
Hey, how about the heat that boy gets when he gets on the mic now?
I know.
And he's talking. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, man. Like, as a fan, like I think as the older you get, you don't react as much unless you're like at the show live, maybe. But when Ray was whipping him and Michael Cole's commentating, I felt like a teenager, like a fan, like just, oh my God, go get him. Don't you help, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, like when I was watching it live. sorry, neighbors.
You're whipping for a dad to beat his son in the main stage of WrestleMania, and your neighbors are just sound asleep in the middle of a REM cycle.
I need wrestling, this is normal, right? Sorry, right. Cool. I love the choices. Brownie points as well for Hunter, but no, that's cool. I think they've all different answers as well. This is what I like about them. So as we are coming to the end to the interview, I'd like to ask you both: is there anything you want to say, anything you like to promote, or just anything you want to get off your chest? The opportunity is yours now, as we are now at the end of the podcast.
I think it's a shame that TSF hasn't been as many places as we should be.
Mm-hmm.
I think there are a lot of promoters who overlook us just because maybe experience-wise or stature-wise, but that's, we don't call ourselves one of the best tag teams as a joke. Like, we truly think we are. We may not be the best in the world, and that's okay. We've only been wrestling for 2.5 years. I'm not trying to be the best in the world right now. I'm trying to be the best that we could be. And I know when Hunter and I step in the ring, when we come out of the curtain, You're not going to find two individuals who can either get that crowd to love you or hate you within 3 seconds faster than TSF does. And when we step in that ring, we know what we're doing. We've had matches fall apart and get them right back on the rails, because if you want to say, oh, you've only been wrestling for 2 years, great. We wrestled 100 matches, and we've wrestled probably twice as many.
I would say over that, man. We're probably close to the 200 mark now.
Well, if you're including, all the practice matches we've had, we would have,
stuff,
1 to 2 practice matches a night, 4 days a week.
Yeah.
In camp or not even in camp, in the night class for the longest time.
Yeah.
So we may not be there in longevity, but we've done a lot. We've been a lot of places. I was practicing cutting promos the other day because I was bored in my room, like stood in the ring with Hall of Famers. Like, there's nothing that TSF can't do. It's a fact. And if you want great tag team wrestling, which a lot of indie promotions don't have, you call us.
Everything he said, and to play off it a little bit, we're 2.5 years in, but we're 2.5 years in now. We're almost on year 3. Like, we've made our rounds at this point. We've been working our asses off. There's really, you won't find 2 other guys that care more about this business and more about succeeding than TSF. We're trying to go everywhere, and I think having us on your roster will only benefit your show in a tremendous amount of ways. We care about what we're doing. We put our all into everything. Every single thing we do, we put our all into it. If we have a 5-minute match, we're going to give that audience the 5-minute match that they came to see. So I think as soon as Johnny gets back and we're up and running again, I think you're going to see us at a lot more places. And as I always tell people, to keep up to date with that, please check us out on social media. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at HKnott12. My YouTube is Hotshot Hunter Knott, and my Twitch is HotshotHK. What about you, Johnny?
Social media is our Grillo TSF on Instagram and Twitter. You mentioned it before, our YouTube page, where you can find the majority of our matches. I don't remember. I just changed it. It's our Grillo TSF as well.
Yep.
Look at that. It's our Grillo. It's our Grillo TSF as well. If you want to watch some of our favorite matches, they're on my YouTube as well. So please go check those out. We still have a Pro Wrestling Tees /tag TSF. Well, because you can't tag me. We're not there. It's fine. I mean, it makes the noise,
Yeah, I was going for the
Pro Wrestling Tees /tag TSF. Pro Wrestling Tees /HKnott.
I think, HKnott12.
Pro Wrestling store /Grillo. So there's 3 websites where you can get all of your TSF, Rosario, and Hunter Knott merch. And listen, I still have a ways till I get back to the ring. So in the meantime, everything I said about TSF also stands for Hunter. You'll not find someone who cares more. You will not find a better wrestler. Book him on your shows. He will put on great matches. He will work with your young talent and make them look great. He will work with your vets and give a match for the age and for the crowd. So until I can come back, and even after I come back, please still look at Hunter is not just a tag wrestler. Hunter's also a very good singles wrestler. So if you need someone to be on your show, he could pull double duty. He could do it all.
I love you guys, man. It's just awesome. Like, I think one thing you guys didn't actually say as well is you're also nice people and very approachable on social media. I've seen the way you interact with fans.
We encourage people to heckle us.
It's fun. Like I said, we just want to have fun.
Yeah, and there's nothing which is bad.
Hours slinging breadsticks. No, I don't want to be at Olive Garden for 8 hours slinging breadsticks. I want to go in the corner. I want to respond to somebody on Twitter. Damn it!
And you just let it slip me work. Okay. Fair enough. But no, it's just a thing like love you boys. Like, just it's so approachable, so friendly, and it's not fake. It's not just a put on. It's not just an act. You guys care for each other. There's that brotherhood. Not just a tag team. You are a brand. You are TSF. Death, taxes, TSF.
He gets it.
That's what I'm going to say. But what I'll do is, as the details of your social media handles haven't changed, I'll put them in the description below. Copy and paste from the last one.
This little guy's been trying to say hi this entire podcast. So, Ang, say hi. Get your.
He's gotten so big, bro.
Dude, he's huge now. He's a tank.
So big.
He won't leave me alone. He's been like trying to hop up on the desk the whole time.
I don't think I've had any dogs make any cameos, but they've always been cats, I've noticed. Never had a dog make a cameo.
Because they're so nosy.
I actually prefer cats to dogs, I'm sorry. I know that's a controversial take, but I just do. I just think cats...
I love dogs, but I do prefer dogs. But I mean, these guys are so easy to manage, and they're so cute. And they're basically...
What's the cat's name? I bet it's the rest of
This one's name is Ang, and our other one is named Kitty Omega.
You don't just spit that everywhere.
I have laughed quite a lot this time, and I love that, man. Just gives me a break and just makes it a bit easier. I've not had that many notes today, other than the questions from the fans as well. But guys, thank you for your questions. Hunter Knott, Grillo, thank you for coming on. Genuinely mean it. Just man, being able to have this time to have this catch up as well. Just for me, just not to just be a presenter and a host, but to just be a fan. And someone, I get on with this like you two. So thank you for coming on. I will add the details description below. If you can like, share, and subscribe to this account, that'd be much appreciated.
Do it now, or we'll find you. If you watch this interview and you don't subscribe to this damn channel, we'll find you. I may only have one leg, and Hunter will probably have to do most of the heavy lifting, but we'll find you.
Okay, no, I love it. Yeah, you fucking heard, boys. You heard. But no, thank you, boys, coming on. I hope everyone has a great weekend. I will have more content out next week, but this will be out before the end of the week. So you got this to look forward to as well. But if you're at this point, you've listened to this episode. But thank you. Go back, listen to it again. Go back and also listen to the first episode with TSF when you find out how they got to wrestling and how they met. Nightmare Factory, Eddie Guerrero, Johnny Gargano, and so much more. But hopefully we get to have another reuniting.
Absolutely.
That's not even word. That's like a term. Reuniting. That does make sense. Reuniting. Hopefully you guys come back. That'll make it easier.
Another reunion. Let's go part 3.
You should at least do an annual TSF catch up just to see.
I'm fucking on it. Let's do it, boys. But I won't keep boys any longer. I hope you boys enjoy your afternoon. But everyone also, take care.